Hey guys, and welcome to one of the most fun games I've had in an awful long time. Me and my buddy Tom were whizzing about in our Panzer IV Luxes, and we had a pretty epic carrying of a game. If you look in the top right, I've put Tom's point of view there. The sound you'll hear is from my screen, but I just thought I'd be nice and fancy by popping Tom's point of view up in the top right there. It'd be quite nice to see some of the action that he's in and some of the action that I'm in. Because what we did in this video is actually, because we worked so well as a platoon, a lot of the action was rather staggered. So I would go in and go pop, 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 as you do in the Luchs, and then he would go in and go pop, 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 pop with his Luchs. Good players on the other team, as a matter of fact. A couple of 57% players, 156, and then obviously you've got Tom and I in our Luchs. I am 54 and a half, and with recents I'm somewhere around 59. So I'm a pretty good player. I've only got 7k games, so you know my stats are still skewed by the first few thousand, which is unfortunate. And Tom is, I think, 53 overall. So, you know, this is a game that we didn't expect to do particularly well because all of their good players are top tier and we are both bottom tier. Anyway, so we're going to be using this ridge line to the best of our advantage and abilities here, and just trying to get a few little easy spots on the enemies there. So hoping for a little more backup from that hill down by the number 1 spawn. And I pop over here and make a massive error. So this is the one error I make in this game, but it almost costs me the game, to be fair. And then Tom does more or less the same thing, and he gets shot as well by the Firefly again, which is their best player. So we both decide to retreat at this point and try and just keep some vision across that hill so they can't come over it. What you will notice a lot in this game is evidently Tom and I spamming an awful lot of APCR, but bear with us because we had a good reason for that. Their 3 best players, as I've mentioned, were top tier. We're in Luchs, we're bottom tier. We have 0 penetration, and the best player, who other than us on our team, was a 48% player. So it came down to having to spam a little premium in order to make them extra penetrating shots count on the enemies. So, as I said, we're trying to get a bit of distance between us and them, use our little light tank camo ratings. And we're chilling up here for a bit, to be honest. It's just eventually, I say to Tom that I'm not going to sit up here anymore because it's not really being that beneficial. I try a few different bushes, see if I can get angles on things. I just can't. And at this point, I'm just wasting time while the team on the other flank dies. We even contemplate at one point heading down the 0 line and trying to flank around. I think it's a Churchill over there. It's hard to see in the playback feed. But anyway, so what I decide to do here, any second, is head out and get some vision, being as I'm so low health, I might as well risk myself rather than Tom, because he can probably take 2 shots for most things. So here I am, heading out, going to crest this hill, and actually it's quite nice if you watch Tom's screen. After I crest this hill, I will spot something. I think it's a French tank, I can't remember fully. So I spot something there, and then Tom uses my spots to then, obviously not spotted, come over to the left of this hill and finish this guy off, which is excellent work. I'm back on the main screen. Blimey. I'm trying to sort that guy out as well, but no such luck. And if anyone is paying loads of attention to Tom's screen, because I know the action is sort of staggered, how many bounces does he get in this game? I believe I counted, and it was 4. I could be 1 out or whatever. I could have missed one. I could have overcounted, but I'm pretty sure he gets 4 bounces in his Luchs this game. I am very unlucky not to finish this fella, but that's fine. You know, shit happens, and Tom's here to clean up the kill because we're playing together. And Tom and I are just about keeping us in this game, keep plugging away at people, popping all day long. Yeah, we're just having a blast, to be honest. This game, we were laughing, but also you know that kind of laughing when you're like, this is ridiculous, but I can actually win this game. I shouldn't be able to win, and you're just sort of cracking up with each other. So that's the kind of game this was. Tom wants to go full Zerg on this guy, and he waits for the VK to commit. So then the enemy tank will evidently have to fight this VK, and we'll have to deal with him instead of Tom. So he gets a few little pops around the anus here. Here we go. Our VK very well established himself, is completely in the way there, very strong. And you see me, on my screen again, just underestimating the Luchs' gun depression for about the 45th time this game. Every time I play the Luchs, I expect more than the 1 degree of gun depression or whatever the fuck it is that it gets. But no, it's a brilliant tank, but just don't expect it to have any gun depression. It can be nightmarish in that circumstance where you're just going slightly over a hill, but you're auto-aim firing somebody and it just pops up and it just really puts you in, we'll say, thick mud, shall we? So yeah, from here I put a few shots into the ELC. Tom comes finishing off, gets a lovely little engine fire. Why not? Because Russia, except for because Germany. Now back to my screen, I definitely suggest watching this here. This is the luckiest moment for me of the game. It's absolutely the luckiest moment. So I go up here. I am trying to flank the Churchill, but I've not noticed down the 0 line is a formerly spotted Stug. And so I imagine I'm guaranteed death here. Somehow, I wasn't. So that's why I sprayed my clip. I was like, I might as well go for some kind of damage, help Tom win this game. But then he misses me. And I'm expecting the Churchill to be looking at Tom here. And yet the Churchill misses me again, because he's still aiming at me, misses at me one more time. And finally Tom can sort of get up his bum and take him out, I think. I think it's Tom that does it. Maybe not. Maybe it's Artie. Artie had a blinder this game, to be perfectly frank. I was well impressed with our SU8. So now I'm up here, and for a while I thought that I had got Tom killed in this game, but if you watch his screen, you'll see the mistake he makes in a second. And although it's bad for him, after the game when I watched the replay, I was like, oh good, that's a weight off my shoulders. There's gun depression doing me over again. But there you go. Let's still watch Tom's screen. Okay, so he kills him, but because he had bashed into that tank before, he's in a horrible position. Ends up getting himself killed, unfortunately. Fortunately for me, it wasn't anything to do with me, but obviously purely unfortunately for him in general. Get myself a little engine fire, which is well deserved. I feel like I've shot enough anuses this game to get a little engine fire, but he's got an automatic fire extinguisher on his tier 5 Stug, because why not? I would say because pay to win, but lots of APCR fired this game. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get up this hill, get some vision, and then I spot this artillery. I try and mouse over him, and I actually assume he's on the other side for a second, because I couldn't mouse over him. The perfect stop! Oh, does it get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen? That was... I would say it was purely perfect play, but it was also very lucky that I did that exactly the right moment. I was thoroughly pleased with how that one went out, and I would take that any day of the week, pop another couple of shells into the guy, and drive for a short while, and basically this is the game done. Our Artie tries to find their Artie, doesn't go particularly well, gets himself killed, and I just wait the game out because I'm not wasting this win, because it's hard fought and bloody well earned. Anyway, on to the post-game. So, here we are in the post-game stats. As you can see, I got my ace tanker, I got a bruiser, I think that's a fire for effect, and a Confederate. Good God, I couldn't think of anything there. As you can see, we damaged an awful lot of tanks on the enemy team. Got a good base of 1132, which is always nice, and with the premium, I believe that's 1699 there. Did 1529 damage in a tier 6 game with 122 shots fired, 73 hits, and 51 penetrations. Gosh, that's going to be so expensive. But as you can see, top my team there did really well. I really thoroughly enjoyed that game, and to carry in Luchs at tier 6 is quite hard. I thought I'd put Tom's stats up here as well. He's a bit further down towards the bottom, but it's not in order. He did over 1,000 damage and got over 1,000 base as well. 80 shots fired, 48 direct hits, 35 penetrations. So yeah, a great game for him as well. So from both of us there, an excellent performance that I'm thoroughly happy with. I lost 80,000 credits that game, which is my biggest credit loss ever. But anyway, I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. I would love to make more World of Tanks videos. They've been getting good feedback the last couple that I've made, but don't get as many views. But per view, they get good likes. I'd like to see more if possible, obviously, so I can keep playing these World of Tanks games and presenting you with replays. So, thanks again, guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.